want to go for the 80 jungle route or if they want to try to match the clear speed of the Zyra with something like a Lilia or a Diana.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't been convinced by the Diana. I know you are a Diana merchant.
We saw it in one game, but it is a nice pick into it. But oh,
that's
okay.
Wow.
This is the pick that has been taken away from Razork so consistently, and every time it hasn't, he's basically won the game.
Also, one of the big AD carry picks that we were talking about that's left open is that Kai'Sa, and this has been something that they paired so consistently together, the Vi and the Kai'Sa. So I'm curious now, do you try and take that away as Kalist, or do you just end up leaving it open in the hopes that you can deal with it by playing this very kite-back composition that, well, I was going to say with the Galio, absorbs that engage, but they're not going to go for it quite yet.
The problem, though, is you don't really want to take away the Kai'Sa because it kind of sucks with the Zyra.
Yeah,
Zyra wants to play very slow and doesn't really want to dive in like the Kai'Sa does. So I'm loving the two picks from Fnatic here with this Kai'Sa. I would presume that they're just going to look at the Jax, actually. Oh. They might think that this could be the Yon top, or they're just saying, you guys are going to have a dive comp. Jax is good into that no matter what.
It is going to be solid. Kai'Sa, the instant lock, and now Fnatic going to ban some things away. What's the option going to be? Technically, the Corki as well can still be flexed, although we've seen it just demolishes the Kai'Sa in that 1v1 matchup. So some room for Vladdy to offer different picks if he so chooses.
I'm curious exactly where this Corki is going. Is it just going to go towards Vladdy, or is it going to go for Taliyz, or do we actually opt in towards some of the Senna matchups that we have seen? Sivir going to be taken off the board.
The problem, though, that I think with putting Corki bot lane here is you're kind of running out of AD picks on mid. So I would assume that it's most likely just going to go mid. I'm curious to see what support you can lock in with Kai'Sa here, because nearly all the traditional engage supports are gone.
Do you think you could still go for the Tristana mid for Vladdy in that case?
You could, yeah. It's good into the Vi and Yon. You can buff for the Vi ult, and it's a good matchup into Yon. But I don't know if I've seen much Vladdy Tristana.
Yeah, I know Nuke played the matchup and unfortunately ended up jumping into Yone a few times, but I think, yeah, there's always an option there. Jace actually going to be taken off the board. I forgot that Jace kind of existed for so far deep into the build, but yeah, I think there's still flexibility there, at least on both sides. You can put the Corki mid, or that Yone could go top.
It is going to be the Alistar ban here, which makes me think maybe they're just going to lock in support on 4. And then look to last pick and kind of keep this semi-Yon flex. Although Yon is 99% going mid, but just keep the top for last.
And Alistar, the last kind of real engage champ left in the support pool, right? You're starting to Braum left, ulti just not that reliable engage for us. So support pool shit was very real at this stage of the draft. Lulu and Alistar are the only ones banned away, but so many removed already. Sion would be certainly a conservative option, may herald a lane swap.
I'm not in love with the Sion pick. It does dive in, but I feel like it plays a bit too slow for the rest of Fnatic's comp.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't really have that like backline threat like the rest of the composition has, so I am kind of curious. I was wondering if KC might look at a Tahm Kench here. Just, it doesn't mean that you have a huge amount of engage, but just that safety net for the amount of dive that's there.
It's also up. There's a crazy combo they could play here. It's a Aphelios Tahm Kench, and it would actually be super good because Aphelios is a great matchup with Kai'Sa. And with the added survivability of Tahm Kench, he can actually play these team fights. The only thing is, they would kind of be lacking in engage. They're going to opt to go for the Braum instead, another great disengage support. Curious to see what they pair up with it. Maybe a Jinx? That would be like a safe fight option.
Down scale. An angle.
You kind of want something with mobility. Yeah. But what is up and available with mobility? There's not much.
KC's certainly taking the time to figure that out.
Caitlyn.
Okay.
Caitlyn does have mobility, but it's kind of fake.
Yeah. Caliburnet is fake mobility.
She does, however, pair up great with the Braum, as she procs the passive quite fast, and then she can trap on top of the stun. And she also works great with Zyra as she gets pushed, but one pike from Mickey, that would be very, very exciting.
Don't believe it until it's locked, my friend. Could be anything.
But it is a good pick. It is a good pick into the Braum. It's good with Kai'Sa. It has good engage champs for it.
Okay!
I love Fearless after game 3. First 3 games, you get mostly normal stuff. Game 4 on.
Yeah, I can get some early action going and try to steal some of Razork's camps to try to snowball this advantage.
Eyes on the jungle matchup. So get ready for this game. Both fan clubs feeling alive. Some faith restored for Fnatic fans. KC fans eager to see their team advance to the finals.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Standard 5-point thus far. We'll see what the lanes end up looking like. Pike with the Halo Blades, level 1, makes him pretty damn lethal. He's able to find a target.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
We'll have to see how he does in the bottom side though, because again, Kalist does have a decent amount of range in the spot lane, so you have to get a little bit creative as Mickey to be able to get those hooks and try and play hyper aggressive in the lane, because you also don't want to get locked up by Targamas. But if you can manage to get out onto the map, that's where I think Mickey's really going to shine. I think Vladdy will struggle if Mickey's able to get that pressure in towards the mid lane.
Yeah, and essentially how this bot lane matchup works is that Caitlyn and Braum can push the lane faster, but Pyke and Kai'Sa have incredible damage level 1 in the all-in. So what Mickey wants to look for is a swap, actually. Never mind. Well, that's sad. That is ruined my whole momentum.
The thing is, like, we talk about how the Scion doesn't really work with what the rest of the composition wants to do, but if what the rest of the composition wants to do, or at least in the bot lane in this case, is not lane, then yeah, the Scion's pretty good, right? So this is the one strength of this pick, universally probably the best champion in lane swaps in terms of his ability to clear waves and pick up XP. Pretty impossible to dive as well without conceding something.
They're hiding the bush in topside though. KC want to make sure they know exactly where the spike is before they look for anything, but Mickey, I think, just walks out of the bush there topside, so they won't. Oh, they will.
Nice hook. Counter-strike first. Not going to be able to get the follow-up auto as well, but just trying to zone Kana off that XP as Oscarinen stunned up, taking a decent chunk of damage.
So not going to be exactly the healthiest for Oscarinen on the start. Targamas trying to be a nuisance by invading on towards it. Would look for the steal, doesn't quite get it. Razork able to get both those camps and should be able to continue through the clear. So at least able to path away from Oscarinen means he should have help on that top side as he starts to go through onto it. I'm just a little nervous for Oscarinen with the health part he has if Zyra ends up making her way down to the bottom lane.
Yeah, they should be able to poke down Kana here. Oh, they actually are even wanting to kind of semi-dive him.
Getting a tower shot there, maybe not ideal, but keeping him relatively low. Kind of doing a good job of surviving and at the very least picking up XP even if he can't really approach the wave.
They are able to get him, zone him off a lot of these creeps, but Targamas has recalled here and is moving up.
I don't think Kana wants to try and go for the jump. They don't really know where the Pyke is right now, and Targamas hasn't been spotted.
I think he got spotted there
there's a
by
ward
Mickey.
there,
Yeah.
That's going to be crucial.
Upset just chooses to respect. And Mickey's actually going to open up back towards top instead of opening bot lane. Nice moves by Upset.
Good sidestep. I mean, that hits against so much more difficult, but playing for a long time there just to clear out the control ward. Upset.
He's playing with
using the fear of Pyke to just be like, yeah, he's right behind me, guys. They don't believe him, and yeah, that's going to cost him. Mickey on the way in, Yike on the way in as well. Hook back to try to create a little bit more space, but Mickey already used the dash, stunned up.
He's dead.
Now locked down. Yeah, cocky movement. Not
it's too cocky. It's too cocky. I respect the initial trying to kind of bait it, but he keeps it going, and Kana calls the bluff.
They're coming back.
They're going to look to dive him here. He has no cleanse.
I think he just has to concede this wave. Razork, you don't want that fight.
Oh
Root
my
almost
God.
hitting. This is a disaster.
Oh no, it all went so wrong.
I mean,
I think they can fight them here. Not
level
let them
2.
enter.
Mickey going in for the hook, trying to pull him back, but just bring him into the stun. No, that is definitely not what you want. Flash out from Razork.
Oh, and they're able to catch some of the wave, but it's so much CS down on Upset. You can see he's down 10 CS already on Kalist. Mickey wants more.
Hail Blades, you can see good damage. He can just keep chasing if he wants to, but doesn't want to overcommit.
But Mickey also didn't commit the flash for that initial tumble stone, right? So it means that then you're just able to get the counter-strike off as Kana, you get the hook in. It's been an absolute disaster. Kalist is getting the free farm, he's getting plates, may even get Oscarinen, who has to be a little careful on the health bar. Mickey now trying to be a nuisance again, but this is not the start that you want if you're a Fnatic fan.
Definitely not. 700 gold lead, 800 gold lead. We haven't really even seen much happen in this game, but Kalist very quietly farming up, building a lead for himself. His Upset's lost a decent amount of farm. Mid lane relatively close. Humanoid did manage to get through the first few levels okay. Will reset for the first time. See what he can pick up.
But if you look at the tempo of both junglers here, Yike is so far ahead. He's already going to run and clear his Raptors, while Vi hasn't even finished her Grump yet. So I think this can lead into either a free Dragon or just such a big tempo lead for the Zyra.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to wait and see exactly how that one's going to try and play out. When you're looking towards, at least on the bottom side of the map, Razork could try and work again his magic alongside upsetting Mickey here as they start to move down into that bottom side. Dragon is up and available. May just be looking for some sort of tower trade here, but KC are getting plates. They're getting these advantages, and it should be the Void Grubs, I think, for Yike as he looks for the reset from the bot lane.
Yeah, Yike should have a great buy here. He's so strong. And I feel like he can do no wrong right now.
I mean, it's such a good position to be in when the enemy team is so far behind and you're the Zyra who already clears faster. Mickey. Boy. Ooh, that hook costs him a lot of life. Passive gonna heal back a decent amount before to pop the pot as well.
We just haven't really seen Mickey be able to get out of this lane. Unfortunately, because of how badly it's gone, if he could actually start to roam, it'd be in a decent spot. But now Yike is bot lane, Mickey immediately disappears. But I think that'll be Razork now moving up towards Void Grubs in response.
The thing is as well, is if you look at XP, Kalist is about to hit level 6. Upset has not even hit level 5 yet. So it's so difficult for Fnatic to fight anywhere around this bot side right now, and which normally would be okay. But the problem is you have a Pyke. If Pyke is not allowed to fight and not able to fight, the champion's just useless.
Yeah, and I mean, who are you going to hook at this point? As long as Targamas just steps forward in front of you, they're really trying to find the angle.
Wait,
no help. He just has to leave. He just has to leave. Maybe trying to bait. Decent amount of health being regenerated because of the passive there.
They can't even catch this wave. Corki's moving as well. Oh, Mickey?
Mickey has to wait as long as possible.
Oh, this is a disaster. Even though
Still
Mickey
roots him. Oh, no! K manages to at least walk away with his life, but they're losing plates in the meantime. Fnatic are getting dominated in this early game.
Yeah, the problem is though, even though Mickey doesn't actually end up dying, they're losing 2 waves here, and there's already only 2 plates left on this bot lane tower. It's a disaster for Fnatic.
And this is the dream situation for Caitlyn. You first back by a BF sword and just get to hit plates all day. Exactly what you want when you lock in a champion like this, and the lane swap very much working out better for KC overall, and thus far the Pyke pick hasn't done a lot. Of course, for Mickey, he's played 8 games on it over his career. It's only a 50% win rate, but now we're seeing the all-in mid lane. Is Vladdy's still confident in that 1v1?
KC aren't going to let up the pressure on this bot lane though. Look, you get the swap from Upset and Mickey. Immediately, Kalist starts to move up towards the top side. He's just going to continue to put pressure on them. As long as they can keep this 2v2 matchup, you're perfectly happy as KC, because Kana's getting the freeze farm against Oscarinin. You're getting plates. Like, everything is going the way of KC now.
And I don't think the side lane gets any easier against the Jax, right? This is the struggle, is you have the Scion to kind of bail you out of some of these lane swap scenarios, but just really did not work as the Caitlyn was able to free farm so much, and the the Kai'Sa was just shut down because those early plays did not go in the favor of Fnatic.
But that's a nice thing, as you say, about the Jax, right? Because they picked it as soon as they saw the Yone. And the reason they did that is because it wins against the Yone so hard that it doesn't matter. Right now, it's only winning against the Scion. But normally, you'd hope that if your mid laner's doing well, and Humanoid's doing very well in this mid lane matchup, that eventually he'll be able to compete. But since it's a Jax, he never will.
This would be such a great win for KC if they can take down Fnatic, though, kind of proving that they have come leaps and bounds from when they were last year. Like, this is still an organization that it has been best of ones, but has never been able to take down Fnatic. And now in this best of 5, moving on towards the potential finals, it will be huge for the French organization, but they have to try and continue this pressure through the early stages, continue to play through Kalist. And look, Vladdy just kind of gets the scale as Mickey disappears again.
Now trying to body block as Upset's canceled too. Could just go in on Yike, but just don't think the angle is there as Humanoid starts to get a little bit aggressive onto Vladdy. So the soul unbound. And, you know, first finals for KC, right? And in a very, I think, just incredible split overall. You talk about last year's expectations. I think people are just willing to let last year go. This is a fresh start for the team. Contesting top 2 now.
It's such an exciting roster, building around Kalist and Vladdy. It just feels so exciting and fresh to watch them play. But Razork has an angle here.
Perhaps the caster curse. The Q flash is clean. The follow-up is instantaneous. And Targamas doesn't get to do anything as he watches his carry drop. The chase continues.
Man, Razork Vi, what a beauty to watch. That Q flash to go in between the Braum.
Oh, flash auto. Flash back. Does manage to live. But as you said, the Q flash.
We need a replay.
But it was sick because look at the top side from Razork. He was about to go and do his red, and obviously the call came through from Fnatic. Look, we need to make this play happen on bot side. He immediately shifts his attention downwards, even bypassing all of that vision. Great play from Razork and answering a lot of that pressure that was on the bottom side.
Yeah, he might even be able to secure the crab here as well. And overall now, if we look at the CS of both junglers, he's back in the game. He's fine. He's actually even up in XP on the Zyra.
I think the big thing here is while there were a lot of parts of the map that lost for Fnatic, Yike was the one who kind of just got to quietly farm through all of that early game. Yike spent a lot of time trying to support some of those early plays, and that put him a bit behind, or at least allowed Razork to catch up.
We can get to see if this combo from Fnatic can continue to get going, because this feels like their best way back into the game. Now that Kalista has no flash and no barrier, if you could feed this gold onto upset, that execution, that assassination in the back line becomes a little bit easier for Fnatic. And you can see they're starting to move up towards this top half again as Void Grub spawn, but I think it's more to try and keep...
Oh
wait.
Ulti.
It's optimistic here, I think.
Does not hit. It's very close to the wall.
That's what I was going to say. I thought it was just to keep Oscar in safe so he could get the wave, but they end up investing the ultimate. Fnatic pushing on the bottom side with upset as well. Vadi not shown in lane yet, but KC will still end up getting these Void Grubs.
The problem I have with this play from Fnatic here is I think it's very hard for them to get any plates around bot, unless... I don't think they can really get much done here bot, but I think Kalist can easily just keep hitting this top tower. But he's actually opting to go for the reset here. Maybe he wants to just immediately swap back into this bot lane, play for the Drake. And maybe he even has the item, actually. No, wait, no? Maybe? No, he had Berserker Miss.
You got Dragon in a couple of seconds, and I think that's what Fnatic are looking for. If Kalista ends up showing up on the bot side, I think it's a visit from Razork once again. You got Khan who's low, Mickey just trying to be a nuisance, but...
Razork going in on the Vladdy. Good initial damage. Yike ready to try to stop this from happening. Ulti use. Caitlyn going to follow up as well. Now going unstoppable, but we'll get the follow-up coming in from Humanoid to at least make it the 1-for-1. Good punish from KC, but Humanoid able to bail out the jungler.
But that's no jungler now for this Dragon. The Dragon is going to interrupt upsets. I don't think KC realized, but still should be able to start to move over if they want to. Dragon could have stopped it.
That feels
It's something again.
Oh my god. Paid actor, the Dragon. Yike.
That feels terrible for Upside. He's going to lose a full wave from this. And Caitlyn might even be able
I
to
thought
get another
Targus was
blade.
about to spot him again, but he made it back.
I mean, well played by KC, right? They find that initial pick. Razork a bit over-eager, does manage to get the ult down to set up for Humanoid, so they get the kill onto the Yone. He gets the blade. That's great, but it's going to cost them the Drake. It's going to cost them that first feat. And if Mickey dies here, or anyone dies here, KC will immediately have the feats of strength in their favor.
To be fair, after this tragic early game from Fnatic in the top department and everything that happened, they are only down 200 gold. So it doesn't feel too bad. Here we have the replay of Razork kind of fighting Bled.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate where Humanoid was positioned. He was getting the wave in mid, so couldn't really follow up, but Yike in a great position. You do eventually get the kill, which does work out, but with the jungler invested, KC are able to get the Dragon afterwards, so just unfortunate with where Humanoid was positioned, but KC making the most out of it.
Yeah, but with that blade now, life just gets a lot easier for Humanoid, and thus far hasn't had to match into that Jax, as you mentioned earlier, Jack. Mickey set up on the bottom side, just trying to make sure that he has control here, helping Humanoid push out. Level 11 on the Yone. Ult not too far off either.
Humanoid is having a great game this game though, like being up a level up on this Corki now and just overall surviving this laning phase. The thing is, when you play Yone into these range champions, usually the goal is to just not fall too far behind before Blade the Ring King, but he's actually ahead already, and he's only going to get stronger.
Hook does not hit. Razork there as well, but needs to get out. Still gets rooted, still gets caught up. Has the blast cone, should be able to walk away, but takes a big chunk of damage just for trying.
Not quite able to make that play happen. You can see the idea from Fnatic collapse on towards mid. Still when Kalist doesn't have that flash available, but doesn't make it work, so they'll just brush themselves off, go back out into these side lanes. No objective for 2 minutes, so Fnatic don't really lose out on too much for trying to make that play happen.
Yeah, and you can see that now the gold lead is very equal. We're just kind of chilling. Yone is able to get pushed against the Corki consistently, and Mickey can start to kind of emulate last game a little bit, being more annoying. The problem is that it's quite hard to play Pyke this game because you have Syra who can block with the plants, and you have a pick on Oscar, maybe?
Oscar going to use the ulti to escape.
Just sigh on things, eh?
Immediately walks away. Targamas caught out for a moment. Follow up there. They don't want to overcommit resources, and Targamas seeing that Vladdy is waiting.
Upset has move here with ulti. They might look to dive.
Breakable is down as well. Targamas used that to keep himself safe, so do they go? It looks like it.
Ulti going to go in. Immediate ulti to follow. So much chain CC. Targamas tries to interrupt, but that's one execute coming down. Likely to be a second. That much more money going into the favor of Fnatic. Flash out from Targamas is good, and now it's Mickey who's in trouble because Kana on the chase. Yike waiting as well. He's going to go invisible. Take his time. Walk back under the tower. Spotted out by Kalist, but not going to give his life as Oscar is there to body block.
Oscar might be in trouble. He has no ulti.
Tough fight. Will just be forced to flash. Kana now flash chasing. Hook there. Kana might be in trouble. Q back, but now Yike following up. Good knock up there. It will at least be the pick back. Oscar is going to try and clear the wave. Extended exchange on the bot side.
Numbers advantage for KC. Razork wasn't in position to try and follow up. So at the moment, KC, they get the kill on towards Oscar and they'll get this tower as well. Nice answer from KC on the bot side dive.
Yeah, it ends up being just a 1-for-1 here. A bit of a, like, I like this idea from Fnatic here to go for this dive, but going for the Braum afterwards was what spelled their demise. Jax does a really good flanking TP here and is able to actually run down Mickey, and they really want to try to save Mickey, as Oscar also matches the TP, but the thing is, if you do all this, you delay your tempo so much, and you stick around for an unplayable fight. Upset's no ulti, they don't have any ults across the board, so they can't really fight them back, despite the fact that Kana flashes in with no E.
Yeah, you can see the Jax ulti, just a little bit extra time bot, more than enough, and the second you're locked up like that, it's so easy for Yike to lay down the ultimate, but it looks like it will be Herald to the side of Fnatic.
I think KC can contest here.
No ult on Razork, so it's going to be a little dangerous.
Mickey trying to poke and prod with the hook down. Oh, you can see how much damage he takes. Razork, 50-50. Tries to make it over the wall. Tries to maybe get a smite, and he'll grab it on the way out. They're not going to get the eye. But they will deny it from the opposition. There's a trap right there. Will Pyke die for it?
Oh, he's going for the... yeah, he's going to die on the opposite side, though.
What? I think he's out.
Do you think?
He has symbiotic souls. He can do super fast recall.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, clever. Use the portal, able to grab it in mid-flight. Kana now in trouble as well. As Upset tries to chase him down, but then Jax is hitting hard. Still holding on for a second. Kana almost gets the kill.
Mickey was not out. Something.
Upset had that ultimate as well. Doesn't end up burning it. So he kind of knew exactly how much damage he was going to take. Nicely done by Upset. And it means that when you go for this play now with Razork, you still have that shotgun follow-up from the AD carry of Fnatic. Big swing, though, off the back of that for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're able to get the Herald and kind of a 1-for-1 trade. So it feels pretty good here, and Kaisa is still really far behind, but Yon is actually able to kind of start matching the Caitlyn's lead here, and it's going to be really hard for this Caitlyn to play teamfights later on against this Vi Yon.
Razork is being very sneaky here, though. He's got in behind the ward line and is just looking to see if he can find Kalist. I think KC trying to find him now.
Maybe looking for Yike. Upset can immediately follow up. Good initial damage. They're just going to one-shot the Zyra. She does still manage to get the ult down. Crucially, Mickey getting the reset. A little bit extra money. Double knockup coming in, but Vladdy can't really do too much damage. Razork likely in trouble. Flashing back out to safety. In the meantime, they kill Targamas. Upset now on a killing spree. 3-0-1. Mickey blinking health bar, but walking away with his life intact.
And it's these creative plays from Fnatic that are lending them so much credence in this game. Might be able to look for a mid tower here as KC.
Bliss locked up. Humanoid going in with the soul unbound. Pulling away. But again, KC are just getting so many towers. 2-1. Top also pretty low, so likely they can reset and go up there as well.
I think
they have the Herald on mid here. They might just do it to get mid tower.
For Fnatic, they have Herald, and I think they're pretty happy to just get some of these kills back on towards Upset, answering for what has been a pretty terrible early game from, but just going to be the charge. You won't get the tower off us.
Yeah.
But at least it's still some work for Fnatic. But KC, you can see, still not fully just out of the woodwork, even losing their jungler at the start of that. Their team fight's still pretty strong.
Yeah, they have so much, like they have 4 damage dealers in this game with the Caitlyn, Corki, Zyra, and the Jax. So they have a lot of tools, even despite the Zyra going down. And Zyra's champ that, you know, if you die on, as long as you got off all your spells, you'll do the job.
Yep.
But it's this creativity from Razork that I really love, that he finds these type of angles, and look at how fast they pull the trigger. Instantly Upset ultis in. Mickey goes for to follow. Oscar in ultis as well. And it's the fact that they're so quick to pull the trigger that has gotten them this far.
Also, the fact that Upset held his ult on that play against Kana meant that it was available for that fight as well. So again, you're kind of seeing this forward thinking from a lot of the players off Fnatic, but they still have to think a little bit further ahead as KC now open up on the map. You've got side lanes that are very dangerous for KC, and it's going to make it a bit tough for Fnatic to hold on to them.
Yeah, KC's still in a good position, still strong on the sidelines, but you can see why so many teams do respect Razork on this fight. It's his signature pick. You talked about it. The Q flashes. He's the most consistent player in our league when it comes to finding those angles. We'll see if he can find another one again. This time, just an ulti, and once again, Yike caught up. The Zyra just killed over and over again. The flash, the follow from Mickey. Clean reaction from Callisto. Will not let himself get caught. Mickey ready to go. Another knockup going in. Upset trying to finish the job, and this is the power of that CC. The angle found for Fnatic. Another fight in their favor.
And it's just Razork on the buy that keeps giving and giving for Fnatic. And Mickey follows it up beautifully and just, it's a masterclass from Fnatic.
This was the combo that Fnatic used throughout the regular season to put themselves into first place. And by some miracle, they've managed to draft it again, number 4. to put themselves potentially one step closer to the reverse sweep, but it is not over yet.
I really want us to focus on Mickey in this fight, because how he plays this is absolutely crazy. If we look at, he ultis onto the Zyra here, and then he E's and ultis behind Kalist, and Kalist matches the flash, but now Kalist has no flash against the Sion ult, which means he instantly goes down. And this type of quick fighting that Fnatic is permanently bringing, they're just outclassing KC in this game.
Now they have the Otacon. They get aggressive here, and Kana's strong on the side lane against one champion, but not so strong against three. Chase coming in. Kana looks like he will escape, though. Yike there to cover. KC certainly not out of this yet. 4K gold lead is terrifying. The dive threat very real from the side of KC, but if they can protect their members, maybe they can get something done. But with Otacon alive...
No, they got us.
No, I'm saying with Otacon up, they can just play like psychos.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do for this top lane turn. You see the push in mid and on towards bot side as Humanoid. They really want to spread out this pressure. Raz are going to tank the Caitlyn ultimate, but I think the fact that you have so much pressure in the map and Fnatic control the jungle, Vladimir needs to be careful. Razork has the ult.
Yeah, the fact that they can play 3 lanes here just allows them to go wherever they want. I think they'll be able to get the mid tower here. Oh, maybe not. Targamas holding on.
Targamas, ulti onto 2 is big. Kalist now following up. Razork is going to be in trouble here. Mickey whipping the ultimate now. One member withdrawing.
Yeah, Otacons and Fnatic have not been very kind to them, to be honest, but still, they will just look for the reset. They get to hold on to it for a little bit longer, but they can continue to just push in these waves. Dragon in 1:10. The fallback there, the control that Fnatic have, should make things a little bit easier for them to continue to look for these picks and look for these fights. So it's going to be on KC, I think, to look for the cross map. They can't really go in towards Fnatic blind.
And the problem with the cross map is that the Jack's lead that we were promised never really cemented. He's down 800 gold and a full level to the Sion, so I don't think that they really have a realistic cross map. The Sion can just keep pushing waves, and worst case, he just needs to ulti.
Yep. Good options to clear the wave to just stop Kana from getting any towers or threatening on greater structures. Also just continuing to stack up that HP, which is going to make him so much more difficult to take out. No armor penetration for either the Caitlyn or the Corki quite yet. Humanoid, I mean, rapidly approaching a 3rd item.
Yeah, it is going to be the Manamune picked up for Vladdy as well. So across the board, items right now aren't too big of a difference. I think it's a good timer to fight for KC.
I think they're just trying to get Humanoid to level 16 though on this side lane. You can see how close he is to ticking over to that 3rd point in the ultimate, which could just spell disaster for KC in this window, because Vladdy only level 13. You've got the AD carries now equal. Fnatic, they have so much pressure on the map.
I think one of the big struggles is you can see this trap line set up, but all it takes is Razork to find a target. Upset can immediately follow. There's so many ways that they can just ignore it, just disregard a lot of the setup strength this Caitlyn has. And you see KC in the back, but
they're way too late.
Austria to find the knock-up. Yike isolated. Yike forced to flash back. Ulti whiffs from Humanoid, but he should just be able to move back with the soul unbound. In the meantime, Kalist is going to be the one in trouble. Razork finding the ankle. Follow-up is good. Mickey going down, but Humanoid off to the side trying to find a way back in because Upset's health bar is blinking. But it's Vladdy and Yike standing tall. The top side of KC trying to get this work done. Vladdy free firing Oscar trying to get 1 kill back, but Kana on the chase. Vladdy on the chase. He should just fall. Razork realizes his time is up, and KC are coming back because the Jax is online.
Kana picks up the triple, but it was all eyes on Humanoid in that fight. He TPs in. He doesn't get onto the key carries, and KC find a way to rally around and turn that fight.
And I'm actually shocked that KC somehow won this, because if we can look at the replay here, Vladdy is not TPing. Vladdy is not TPing. He's still not TPing. He's still not TPing. He's still not TPing. He's now TPing. Doesn't it? The fight already looks lost, but Humanoid whiffs the ultimate and nearly gets solo killed by Kana. And therefore, that upset now is so chunked that Kana can clean up the whole fight.
A great call from Vladdy. He immediately Valkyries on towards upset, realizing that this is the only person that can actually deal damage to us right now, as Humanoid has had to go back to the solo unbound. And from that position, he tucks himself in behind the front line once more and can carry KC to a team fight win.
What a tense game we have in front of us. It's... I feel like either team can take it. It's incredibly close. This 2k gold lead might as well be 0, because whoever plays the fights the best are gonna win them.
Definitely true. Humanoid ticks over to 16, cannot afford to miss another ultimate. Just did not have the impact in the fight that he needed to, being the member on the team that's the furthest ahead outside of Mickey.
I think the furthest ahead might actually be jungle here, with Razork level 15 to level 13. Oh,
Wait, does find the angle on the Vladdy. Good damage. One more auto should finish it. Upset, I think a bit of overkill there. Probably had it without him, but wants to just make sure.
Needed to kind of show that he still had it in him. Manages to pick off Vladdy, which is such a massive one with Baron on the cards. Targamas stepping too far forward. Still has the blast point to get out of there.
Right there. Mickey playing with fire here. Only has W. Kana, you can see he's just chunking him. Upset now has to get involved just to try to stop that kill from going through. Phantom Undertow, you know, once it's gone, he's
now
still very vulnerable.
The question is, can they actually start this Nash? Vladdy is still dead for 15 more seconds with no TP, but without the Kai'Sa and the Yone ult, they think the better of it.
Fnatic not in a great position to start that one. And again, it's 2 Drakes to do to 2. You talked about the goal lead. I mean, still matters in the sense that the Yone is very strong, but it does all come down to execution. You saw that, you know, you whiff a Q3, you whiff an ulti, and that goal lead might as well not exist.
At least though in this position, Humanoid having level 16, starting to work his way towards the 3rd item. He is now a massive threat on the side lane, and you can continue to put this pressure down with Upset shuffling mid and then meeting with Humanoid on that top side. You could always collapse. So effectively, they do fight Targamas, but it's 2v4, so they should just rally out of here.
An Infinity Edge picked up on Humanoid here. He is going to deal so much damage now.
Mickey forced back. You're right, that 3rd item big. Kana very steadily catching up here as the knockup goes down. Unbreakable, about to fade away from Targamas. He just gives his life. That was not the play that they needed. Ulti also coming in from Yike. It's a lot of cooldowns burned. KC don't really have a way to approach this objective anymore.
They still have the Vi, Yone, and the Kai'Sa ult, which is crucial to starting off this Nash. So I think Fnatic will just push in this mid wave and then look to start Nash and turn.
Kana going in. Mickey now retreating. Objective is there. No vision for KC, but they have the setup on the plants. Mickey off to the side. Kana, level 14. He's pretty powerful. He's trying to zone away Mickey. Phantom Undertow, they know the support is not in the fight. Oscar and body blocking the Baron down. Now they have to be careful. Razork chasing down Kana. A bit of a split exchange. Kana about to find the CC. Mickey now following up, but Kana happy to take this fight. So much chain CC coming through. Humanoid waiting over the wall. Yike still trying to finish that job, but not able to get the kill. Crucially, KC want to keep this fight going, but it's the ultimate Humanoid once again. He might have missed the last one, but 2 back-to-back times. He's able to take out Vladdy. Collins, a blinking health bar. Another knockup coming through. Fnatic blinking health bars across the board, but only Upset will fall.
Fnatic just hold on. They get the Baron, the 3 kills, and Upset gives his life for it. But it's Fnatic who are now in control.
Oh my god, what is this game? Every fight looks so damn close. Fnatic are able to get the Nash, but Kana wants to keep fighting. Razork wants to keep it going as well. Mickey and Razork onto Kana here. Upset ultis over the wall, but it's a flash from Kana that's actually crucial because Upset now, instead of running out, runs to help Razork and kill Kana, but then a beautiful ult from Humanoid allows him to kill Vladdy and nearly take down Kalist too.
I thought that Yike was going to get something here, but Razork and Oscar are in and timing that CC perfectly to keep Zyra from tossing out any of her spells. And now Dragon has spawned a 3rd Hex Tech Dragon for Fnatic. This series going the distance.
I mean, look, the 3K gold lead we could argue away. The 7K gold lead a lot harder to argue. You've got defensive items now coming in as well for Upset, so even if he does have to miss position, he's got a tool to keep him safe.
And the thing is now, even if you don't get an insane amount from this Nash, in 4.5 minutes, you have Hextech Soul, which is the most OP soul in the game and will surely spell KC's demise.
I mean, you just can't. This many squishy champions against Hextech, like, you just cannot play the game.
Yeah.
It's also just the fact that Upset now 8-2-5 picked up the Seeker's Arm Guard, 3 items on this Kai'Sa. He is huge and has so much backline threat that any CC lands at all, he could suddenly assassinate people. So for KC, it is about protecting so many of these carries. But you look across the map, Mickey is pushing in mid, Humanoid is pushing in that top side. They are spreading KC thin on the map, and KC just don't know what to do.
This is one of the most fun things when you have a Pyke, is you can play Nash like this. It reminds me of Hylissang, who would always do this with the Nash, just pushing a side lane and being so annoying.
I'm collapsing. Again, I think one mistake from KC and the game just ends against them. They cannot afford to take too many risks. While Fnatic have this Baron, but the tier 2 will fall. Yet another one. The gold lead just continues to grow, almost 10,000 in Fnatic's favor. KC aren't out of this game yet, but it's starting to feel impossible. One mistake, and it's all over.
The Red Bull Bar power play is about to fade, though. So at least for the moment, they've held on to their main structures in their base. Still, the amount of vision that Fnatic have, the threat of a pick makes it so difficult for KC to push out onto the map. As long as Fnatic can try and control this bot side jungle, they just play for this next dragon, play for that Hextech Soul. And at that stage, I think it's lights out for KC.
Yeah, you really need third item here on the Vladdy and on the Zyra. I think otherwise they just don't have enough damage right now. I think Kalist still does decent damage, but you look at the carries of Fnatic and they just are a whole lot richer.
And this is a Fnatic roster that has gone to game 5s and won. And the terrifying thing for KC is they've been tested in so many ways and they've managed to win out just about every time. But do they have the mental in a situation where you've gone 2-0 up and then dropped 2 games to clutch it out in a game 5? That is a tall task for any player, and especially a lineup with so much rookie talent.
Especially in a game like this. Fnatic started off miserably in this game. They fought it back tooth and nail, playing through this combo that they know oh so well, bringing us now to a point where they are nearly 10,000 gold ahead. A soul on the cards. This has got to fill Fnatic with so much confidence going into a game 5. Whereas for KC, you were 2-0. Now you're going to a potential game 5, and that has got to sting against this team.
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but there was a pro player, very wise quote: whoever wins game 4 wins the series. Because the momentum that you get from a game like this, it makes it so difficult. Those voices that Finn was talking about, the back in your head, telling you, maybe if we played the game 3 a little bit better, we could have won it. They just start to creep in, and you get so scared of that reverse sweep.
Can't let forward to let that fear seep in. And we're not at game 5 yet. It feels inevitable, but carries on the side of KC have items, 3.5 and 3 respectively. Yike also a big damage threat, but it's so tough to play the fights. But Fnatic don't have big range. They don't have a reliable siege, so they will still need to take at least one more objective if they want to close this.
I think the problem for KC is you just haven't really hit those breakpoints where, oh, hang on. Now they're able to walk out, but where you can kind of feel like a threat. It's like 3 items on the Corki, sure, you have 4 items on towards Humanoid, 3 and a bit on Kalist, yeah, but he kind of needs a 5 and a 6 to really be relevant on this Caitlyn. So you just don't have these big power breakpoints, whereas you have them almost across the board for Fnatic. Even the Guardian's Angel picked up for Humanoid as well. It's just going to be huge in these fights.
Yeah, they have so many of these luxury defensive items. The GA on mid jungle.
Going in, just trying to pick Targamas off. Knowing the Unbreakable is crucial for the team. This pick might just seal the deal. Yike cannot save his support. Fall from Razork is there. Fnatic happy to have it. Again, it's not the bang, it's not the big 5v5, but they might not even need it. Happy to just settle for that pick. 20 seconds on the Baron, 50 on the Soul. Fnatic likely to get both and bring us to a game 5.
Yeah, Targamas is dead for the Nash spawn. And it was already hard to contest 5v5. It's even harder 4v5. So KC is probably just gonna give up Nash here and look to fully commit onto this bot side to try to get some semblance of control so that they don't have to give up the Soul as well.
This game is slipping away from KC. They can see, they just don't know where to go. You have Kalist opening in mid, hoping that maybe they can contest on towards Baron, but they don't want to. They look for a pick onto Humanoid and bot side, but it's nowhere to be found. Just sliding back further and further, and it's on now. Fnatic, can they, with this Baron buff, with this Hex Tech Soul in 10 seconds, push us to that game 5?
But they went to the Baron. They took some time there, and it means that KC have been able to get some position on this objective, but the Scuttle Crab's already down. It's so frustrating. The vision control is there. They have to mark Razork. Kana trying to keep an eye on him. Maybe they can keep the backline safe, but against the Sion, against the Yone, Mickey waiting over the wall, being so damn annoying. Steal could come through. 8K. When is the fight going to start? Q3 there for Humanoid. Will he use it? Does bring it out. Targamas caught out here. Kana ready to go over the wall, but doesn't have a stun. That's a clear window of opportunity for Fnatic to get started, knowing the Jack's counter-strike is down. Yike trying to disengage with the Baron in their sights, but he manages to steal it. Crucially denying the Hextech Soul, but the instant follow-up is there. Fnatic still finding the fight, still finding the angles. KC buy themselves a bit of time by taking the objective, but Yike going golden, knowing that it's silver. Scrapes right around the corner. A freeze frame for upsetting Kana as he gets run down. A TP into the mid lane. Fnatic on the cusp of the reverse sweep. One final game to see who will face G2 tomorrow.
It has been question mark after question mark posed to Fnatic, but in game number 4, they have answered with a roar. And now, both these teams 1 game away from facing off against G2 in the finals.
I didn't think Fnatic could do it. I thought it would be a 3-0, but we are going to game